Imagine this. Tomorrow morning, you walk into a coffee shop and order your favorite coffee. The barista smiles and says,
"That'd be $5.
You hand over a $5 bill, and he replies,
Oh, I'm sorry. We don't accept that anymore."
Sounds ridiculous, right? Because in your mind, that piece of paper is obviously worth $5. But here's the strange part. That paper isn't made of gold, it isn't rare, and it isn't useful for building a house. You can't eat it, and you can't drink it. Yet people spend their entire lives working to get more of it. So here's the question. Why does money have value? And to answer that question, we have to travel back thousands of years to a time when money didn't exist at all. Imagine living 5,000 years ago. You grow apples, and your neighbor raises chickens. One day, you want chicken, so naturally, you offer apples in exchange. Simple enough. This system is called barter, and at first, it sounds like a great idea. No banks, no coins, and no paper money, just people trading things they already have. But there was one huge problem. What if your neighbor didn't want apples? What if he wanted fish instead? Now you have a problem. You want chicken, he wants fish, but you only have apples. Therefore, you must first find someone willing to trade fish for apples and then trade the fish for chicken. Suddenly, a simple trade becomes a frustrating scavenger hunt. The bigger societies became, the bigger this problem became. People needed something everyone would accept, a universal middleman, and that changed everything. Different civilizations started using valuable items as money. Salt, shells, cattle, and even giant stone discs in some parts of the world. At first, this seemed like the perfect solution. If everyone agreed shells had value, you could trade shells for almost anything. No more complicated barter chains. Problem solved, or so people thought, because a new problem appeared. What if you wanted to buy something expensive? Imagine carrying hundreds of kilograms of salt across a town or transporting several cows just to make a payment. Not exactly convenient. Therefore, societies started searching for something more portable, something durable, and something difficult to fake. Eventually, many civilizations arrived at the same answer: metal, especially gold and silver. Around 2,600 years ago, in the ancient kingdom of Lydia, located in modern-day Turkey, something revolutionary happened. People began producing standardized metal coins. For the first time, money had a consistent weight and value. This was a massive breakthrough. Instead of arguing over how much gold a piece contained, people could simply trust the coin. Trade became faster, markets grew, and economies expanded. But even coins had limits. Imagine you're a merchant carrying the equivalent of millions of dollars in gold across mountains, through deserts, and past thieves. Suddenly, money became heavy and dangerous. The more economies grew, the more obvious this problem became. People needed a better solution. And surprisingly, that solution appeared in China. More than 1,000 years ago, Chinese merchants faced a problem. Their coins worked, but there were simply too many of them. Large transactions required carrying enormous amounts of metal. So merchants began leaving their coins with trusted institutions. In return, they received paper certificates proving ownership. These certificates could later be exchanged for the actual coins. At first, the paper wasn't the money, it simply represented the money. But something interesting happened. People started accepting the paper itself in trade. Why? Because they trusted they could exchange it later. Therefore, carrying wealth suddenly became much easier. A small piece of paper could represent a large amount of value. It was one of the most important financial innovations in human history. But an even bigger transformation was Coinage. For a long time, many currencies were linked to precious metals like gold. In theory, you could exchange your money for a certain amount of gold. This made people feel secure because the money seemed backed by something valuable. But today, that's no longer how most money works. Take a look at a modern banknote. It isn't backed by gold sitting in a vault waiting for you. It's mostly paper or polymer. Nothing extraordinary. Which brings us back to the question we started with. If money isn't valuable because of its material, and it isn't valuable because it's made of gold, then why does it have value at all? The answer is surprisingly simple: trust. That's it. Trust. When you accept money, you're trusting that someone else will accept it later. When a store accepts money, they're trusting their suppliers will accept it. When suppliers accept money, they're trusting workers will accept it. The entire system functions because billions of people share the same belief. Think about it like a giant invisible agreement. Everyone accepts money because everyone believes everyone else will accept money. And as long as that trust exists, the system works. In fact, modern money is often called fiat money. Its value doesn't come from gold. It comes from collective confidence in the system behind it: governments, central banks, businesses, and ultimately, people. Now here's where things get interesting. If trust creates value, what happens when trust disappears? History has shown us the answer. When people lose confidence in the currency, they rush to exchange it for something else: goods, foreign currencies, gold, or anything they trust more. Because money isn't just paper. It's a social agreement. And agreements only work when people believe in them. Which means the most powerful force behind money isn't gold, silver, or even governments. It's human belief. So, the next time you pull a banknote from your wallet, take a closer look. You're not holding something valuable because of what it's made from. You're holding something valuable because billions of people have collectively agreed that it is. From barter, to shells, to coins, to paper money, humanity spent thousands of years searching for the best way to exchange value. But in the end, the real foundation of money wasn't metal, and it wasn't paper. It was trust. And once you understand that, you start seeing money very differently. Because money isn't really a thing. It's one of the largest shared beliefs in human history. And that belief powers the modern world.